Are my faculty going on strike? Is this going to impact me? Am I going to get to finish the semester? As a student, you want to know how the strike is going to impact you, but to predict what will happen, we need to figure out how we got here. So let's dig in. In part 1, we're going to cover who's on strike, why they're on strike, and what type of strike action we can expect. And in part 2, we'll get to, as a student, what can you expect right now, and what can you expect if the strike escalates. When there is no union, the employer makes the rules, and the employees have to accept the rules if they want the job, and these rules become their contract. But when employees have a union, they have a united voice. So the employer and the employees work together to create the rules, and this becomes their contract. The contract expires after some years, and then both sides have to come together to make a new one. If they agree, that's great, they have a new contract. If they don't agree, that's when things get complicated. On one side, we have the Cat A academic employees. This includes the instructors, professors, librarians, counselors, all across Ontario. This group comes under OPSEU, the Ontario Public Service Employee Union. If you follow the articles and videos I'm going to share, you might say OPSEU or Cat A. Remember, they're both on the same team. And on the other side, we have CEC, the College Employer Council. And this group was created by the government to bargain on behalf of the college employers in Ontario. So on this side, we have the employees, on this side, we have the employer. Or we could call them the faculty group and the college group. That's our two groups. The short story is, remember that collective agreement? It expired in September. And the two groups have been bargaining, but they can't agree on a new contract. A strike is a right of union employees. So the employees refuse to work to put pressure on the employer to come to an agreement. An employer also has some cards they can play, like a lockout, when an employer refuses to let employees come to work to put pressure on them. Actually, they already are on strike. In December, the Cat A team voted in favor of a strike action. But there are different kinds of strike actions. Since January, they've been on a strike action called Work to Rule. This is when they do everything on the contract to the word and nothing additional. Their hope is that this kind of strike action will put pressure on the employers with minimal impact to students. But there is impact, and we'll talk about that later. Their plan is to escalate strike action to continue to put pressure on the employer until the employer agrees to some terms. Rotating or strategic strikes, which is when they go on strike for specific days or specific groups in the union go on strike. The highest escalation is a general strike, a full walkout with picket lines. The last big strike between these groups was in 2017, and it was at this level for 5 weeks. Yes, but the level of impact on students depends on the level of strike action. It could be as little as a delay in receiving emails from faculty, or as severe as an extension to the winter semester. CCSAI is not going to take sides with either party. And as students, we're not really a player in the bargaining. But this impacts us, and it's important for us to know what's going on. Both sides say they want what's best for students. I'm going to share some resources with you so you can hear directly from both sides and see what you think. So how exactly is the strike going to impact us as students? We'll cover that in part 2. Hey, if this video helped you learn something, consider voting on March 9 and 10. I want to bring action to this topic. Thanks for watching. Bye!